Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome to the Enough Said podcast. This is it, gentlemen. Season 4, episode 24, the last one of the season. What up, guys? What's
What's
happening?
up? What's going on,
Hey, what's
everybody?
up? What's up?
Yo, what's going
What is
on?
going on?
What is going on? Mike is not wearing his big hat this week. Yeah, that didn't.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah.
I don't know.
mean,
What's
listen,
going on
man.
there,
You're one of my
but-
best friends, but I'm glad you lost.
Oh
Glad you
man,
lost.
Jeez.
that's
Kick 'em
rough.
out,
I
he's
didn't think
down.
about that for your guys. I was
Well-
rooting for you guys. Shoot, I think if y'all had won, we probably would have won.
Man. Yeah, it was an interesting Super Bowl. We'll definitely get into that today. We'll talk a little bit about that. We're going to go through preseason picks and talk about how we did in the preseason picks. Also going to bring up today who has the most to prove in the offseason. Which team needs to make some moves? We're going to talk about that today, which will be interesting. And then I know what Dre wants to talk about. Overrated. Who is overrated? We had some
Really?
talk about that yesterday. We talked about two quarterbacks, right, who were overrated yesterday, and
We
went
did.
back and forth a little bit. So talk about that. But with that being said, let's get into the intros. So here we go. The first guy, he knows I'm going to start with him because of San Fran. He had a rough week. His defense did not show up and stand tall. Even his girl didn't show up at 9-ball. Mike, what happened?
Mike, you'll never
I'll
live
tell
that.
you, man. You'll
I
never
know.
let
I
that
know
go.
you'll never live that down.
No,
You'll
I
never.
sure won't.
Wow.
Yeah, actually the defense did all right to the
Yeah,
end.
they did. Yeah.
It was the offense's fault. We'll talk about it, but I mean, you got to put up points, man. You can't just get 1,000 chances and not do nothing with it.
Right.
Well, I want to talk about Dre Greenlaw for a second because first the guy, he comes out way too hyped. First the guy does this tomahawk chop, almost takes out 4 of his own players. I texted you that right after he did it. Then the guy's bouncing around, doing flips on the sideline, tears his Achilles. Of course, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but
No,
what?
not really.
Dre, yeah, Dre a little overhyped, Mike. What happened with Greenlaw?
It's just one of them things, man. And this was
Yeah.
kind of one of them days, right? I mean, I thought he brought enough energy. I thought he was the guy who got the defense going, and
Yeah.
he was sorely missed. I mean, you saw his replacement. You saw the text I sent you guys with the, the guy got targeted 9 times and 9 completions were made on him just as much. So it made a difference.
All right, well, we'll get into that and more about the Super Bowl in a second. Let me get this other guy in who's down at the batting cages with the alarm going off there. You never know what will come out of his mouth, and he talks out of his rear. The only time more crap comes out was in his ear in Florida. What up, Jermaine?
Wow.
That's all
did
you can
not-
say.
No,
Intro.
I did not see that coming. Wow. I didn't see that coming at all. Wow.
What?
What's up,
They
fellas?
stopped. The funny part was when they started telling me that story, they cut it off because I don't think they wanted me to get more into it and get.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
said
more
stop.
to it.
Yeah, stop.
What? I can't hear you. What?
Something about water in his ear in Florida. I don't know what was going on, but we'll leave that between him and Andre, and we'll get going on. Speaking of Dre, right after
So-
San Francisco lost, he made the call. He did not even feel sorry for it all, man. He just went right at him. Right after he lost, I was like, Mike, I'm really sorry, man. Look, I know how you feel, man. We lost it last year. Dre's like, no, I don't feel sorry for him, man. With the 49. He didn't give Mike any love, man, Dre.
Nope. Not at all. Because
He was
they
pretty
actually
rough,
showed
man.
how bad we are, and they whipped our tail, and they're the ones that put us to say, okay, y'all ain't never gonna win again, and we didn't.
We didn't.
Yeah, of
We
course.
lost
Yeah,
what, 7 in a
unfortunately-
row. Something like
Unfortunately, that
that.
was our
We
Super
won
Bowl.
one since we played them.
Yeah, but that was our Super Bowl. The effort that was put in that game is what should have gotten to the real game. That didn't show up.
That's so
Yeah.
true. That
That's
is so true.
That is
Yeah.
true.
Mhm, so true.
Well, it was
what
a
did
tough
y'all
one.
think?
I mean, look,
Yeah.
this is only 2 games that went to overtime, Dre. This Super Bowl,
Well, this is the second one in the Super Bowl.
second.
Yeah,
Right,
Atlanta.
number 2.
Yeah, Atlanta and New England. was the other one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Second one. But also there's a new rules applied to this one
Right.
Mhm.
where you play like a new game.
Yep.
Yeah, the clock doesn't matter for the most
The
part.
clock doesn't matter.
Hmm.
And Mike, there was talk all around that Shannon knew the rules, but his players didn't.
I don't know if it matters. I mean, as long as someone knows the rules, you still got like everyone's been talking about it, but to me, it's like I don't really care. I mean, you have to still score. You still have to stop the other team. So whether you decide to try to stop them first and then score, or score first, try to stop them second, to me, you still got the same job.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I didn't really care much. The ball, I was like, all right, fine, be aggressive, go score, but you have to score. They only got a field goal, and that wasn't enough. And then the defense had plenty of chances. It wasn't like they had a short field; they had to go 75 yards, and they every time they needed a play, they didn't make a play. That's basically what
Mhm.
happened.
So,
So
but they had opportunity to actually stop Kansas City and win the game, right? It was like third and something.
Oh yeah, it was a 4th and 1,
Fourth and
and
one,
everyone
yeah.
knew. I knew it was going. I knew Patrick Mahomes was going to run the ball. I yelled at the TV. I was like, "He going to sneak the ball." I mean, he's the guy that wants to win the game. He's the best player on the field. So in that situation, he's probably going to keep the ball. And then our best player allegedly, Nick Bosa, did what he usually does. He crashed inside,
Mhm.
fell for the okey doke, and then Mahomes is running free, and it's just the same story you saw all season.
Mm.
When it came down to big plays like that.
what about Debo and Ayuk? I mean, they didn't really have that big of a game. What happened with those two?
Um, Yeah, I mean they had plays here and there, especially IU. Debo kind of got quiet, and of course he got hurt.
Mm.
Mhm.
He kind of always saw that coming. And then the corners for the Chiefs, they're really good, and they kind of had a job. They had a really good game plan, with that blitz, and the blitz was like, look, y'all need to cover for like 3 seconds. Give your defense, the front guys, enough time to put pressure on the quarterback. If you can just
Mhm.
hold for 3 seconds and pressure the guy or get a sack and do something, we'll be fine. And that's what they did. They just sent the house, try to cover the receivers as long as possible so they wouldn't get open. And, you kind of shut down that
Mm.
offense. That's why only the slot receiver, Greg Jennings, was always open, most of the time, got the ball so much because he was the only receiver who could really beat his man quick enough. Everybody else got shut down, and Kittle got brought in to block because of the blitz. So they
Mhm.
kind of took him out of the game just by blocking.
Um, do you have? I would say second guessing Shanahan for kicking a field goal there and not going for it and trying to score that touchdown in overtime.
I would have liked them to go for it.
Yeah.
I would like them to have played to go for it. I would like the third down call to be one of those calls where you try to get closer to make it a more manageable fourth down.
Mhm.
But they had chances. I mean, you just can't give Mahomes, a chance to win the game because that's what he thrives
Mhm.
on. He loves to do that.
Right.
Yeah, even the referees were like, "Yeah, you can't give him the ball back." Jermaine, we got a new goat.
Yeah, it's in the making. That's all I can say. I mean, all you could do, just like what Mike said, he was the best player on that field on Sunday. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I can't see. I mean, he keeps this thing going. I mean, God forbid he gets a three-peat. I mean, yeah, you definitely got to put him in there with the GOAT because Tom Brady
Mhm.
never three-peated. You know what I mean? So yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, and he's bringing the team back on winning drives every time. I
He
mean,
is. Yeah.
he won on the road. He's bringing teams back on winning drives. I mean, you can't expect anything more of him with that wide receiver core. You look at what Jalen Hurts has wide receiver wise, and you look what he has as receiver wise. Man, it's like night and day. You know?
And maybe it comes down to just great coach management by Andy Reid. He knew
Yeah,
we knew what he was working with. You know.
yeah.
right.
Um.
Well, I think it's just the people who have to make plays when they need them on that team. It's
Yeah.
always been the case with them. Travis
Mhm.
Kelsey had like what 1 catch, 1 yard, all the way until fourth quarter when it
Fourth
mattered on
quarter.
that
Yep.
drive, and all of a sudden he was getting open, making big plays. Mahomes did it. Chris Jones did it.
Mm-hmm.
Spagnuolo did it. Andy Reid did it with the calls. It's
Rice.
just
Mhm.
always right when you need that critical play, they always find a way to execute.
Yep.
Yep.
I don't know how they do it, but they just.
Guys, any problem? Andre, I'll start with you on this one. Any problem with Travis Kelsey bumping Andy Reid and getting in his face? Didn't like that. Like
Well,
that?
it was
LB?
mixed. From what I read in social media and stuff and regular media, it was like a mixed reaction. Some people said, well, he's caught up in the moment, and he was upset that he got pulled out on that play. And then he was just getting in Andy Reid's face, and Andy Reid kind of downplayed it. From what I read, he downplayed. He's like, "Oh yeah, he bumped me, but love, it's over. It's fine." But in my opinion, I think he could have handled a little bit better. In my opinion, I'm like, you pushing the coach. He almost fell. I know you're upset, but at the same time, you're a veteran player, a future Hall of Famer. You need to
Mhm.
calm down. He even said on the podcast. He said in the podcast. I don't care what anybody says, but it was definitely a bad decision. That's not the word he said. I can't remember the exact word he said, but he said
Mhm.
it was a bad decision that I did do that. I said, well, okay, well, you admit that, Travis, but to me, you should have basically held your composure, in my opinion. Well, what
Mhm.
makes you different from any other diva receiver?
Yeah. The real deal had an interesting reaction. He went online to say, he's like, if that was me, I would have gotten thrown out of the league. AJ Brown was pretty adamant about that. And so I don't know. It was an interesting thing there. I think you got to be careful. Obviously, with the coach, you do
Yeah.
not, I, you can't bump the coach. I understand everybody gets emotional, but you also got to control your emotions too. And
Yeah,
Andy Reid, like you said, Dre, he calls the right play 9 out of 10 times. So, it's pretty good.
Right, right.
Mhm.
But like Mike said,
yeah.
Mike said they won, so it doesn't
Right, it doesn't
matter.
matter.
That is exactly the point. That
Mhm.
is it's true. It's like winning. When you win that game, then anything and everything that went wrong gets kind of forgotten about.
Mhm.
Like if San Francisco won that game, we would never be talking about the overtime
Right.
call. They probably would be talking about Travis Kelsey going over to Andy Reid, and they would say, yeah, they were frustrated, they fell apart, all this and that. But you win the game, all that stuff don't matter no more.
Yeah.
Um, that's how it
Hmm.
works. That's the thing that sucks about losing the Super Bowl is like you just hear so much stuff now. Like it's so much noise. Like it's frustrating. I'm more frustrated with the noise than I am with them losing.
Mm.
It's like CJ Gardner Johnson. Was talking all that trash. Then they actually lost to the Niners. And then they lose the Super Bowl, and the first thing he comes out, it's like, "Look, I told you I was right about Debo. He can't run routes."
Mhm.
And then it's like I don't know, Aaron Donald comes out, he flashes his ring. It's like I don't got one of these. It's just kind of like
Ah.
everyone just
Mhm.
come out of nowhere. It's like a whole bunch of Eagles people were just kind of like, yeah, yo, who else talked trash? There were so many people that just started talking trash as soon as they lost. Even though San Francisco beat all those teams and beat those teams, they still talk trash. And it's just like if you
Mhm.
just win the game, it would shut everybody up. But they didn't do it.
Jermaine, good example for Travis Kelsey bumping into Andy Reid. If your son bumped into the coach, would you sit him?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Andy
Mhm.
Reid. Look, it's they're wrong on both sides. Andy Reid, I'd have sat if I was Andy Reid, I'd have sat Trevor Kelsey down for like a quarter or so. I mean, you just don't. That's just total disrespect.
Yeah.
Dre said that was his opinion. No, it's a damn fact. You do not run into your coach. You
Yep.
do not do that. I don't care how emotional you get or whatever. We all get emotional and whatnot. But you know what? The respect
Mhm.
needs to be there. And I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Yes, he apologized, but I feel as though Travis Kelsey is a jackass. He's a
Yeah.
jackass for doing something like that. That's just total disrespect. And if I was Andy Reid, I would be pissed. And I would have
Hmm.
I would have sat him down. It's like, look, you don't do this stuff. You don't do it. And just like what Mike said, AJ Brown, if that was AJ Brown, win or lose in that Super Bowl, he would have been crowned, he would have been dug
Mhm.
underneath the ground, the whole nine, TO, all of them. If they would have done that stuff, and that's what I'm saying, Travis Kelsey, it was wrong. It was
Well, here's
wrong.
the
And I,
thing:
I was totally upset about that.
To never hit a coach.
Yeah, I
He
know,
No.
never
but if
did
it
that.
was
Right.
T.O., if it was AJ
Yeah.
Brown, oh my God,
It's the
we still be,
attention, right?
yes, we still would have been talking about it. You know
Right,
what I mean?
right. It's the attention. It's the
Mhm.
attention that
Exactly.
Yeah.
AJ. It's the
But
attention that AJ Brown gets. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, and T.O.,
yeah.
you know what I mean? And all those ones, you can name a few that's in the league. If they would have done that, it would have been done. Because I feel as though that some coaches wouldn't have tolerated that. I don't care if you're the superstar on this team. You just don't do that. You don't do that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And yes, it would have been a bigger problem if Kansas City would have lost. They would have dug into that. But now, since Kansas City won, oh well, the emotions and all that stuff. Andy Reid's a chump, and Travis Kelsey, he should have been. You know what I mean? It's just wrong. It's just wrong. You know what I
Andy
mean?
Reid,
So
chump.
yeah, Andy Reid is a
Yeah.
chump
But
because he wants to
didn't
win.
Mahomes do the same? Didn't he do something similar this season too, where he kind of went up and was yelling at Andy
Yeah,
Reid
he was.
also?
Yeah, he did. He did. And there was that game
Referee.
it was against the Bills, wasn't it? It was against the Bills that
Maybe.
he hollered at
Mhm.
Andy Reid and he was crying that that they lost. Remember we was talking about Patrick Mahomes being a crybaby. So yeah, I think it was the Bills game during the season that he got in Andy Reid's face. It's
Mm.
just I'm sorry. You know, I mean, yeah, Andy Reid's a great coach. He's probably going to be the greatest of all time. He's probably going to pass Bill Belichick or get there and whatnot. But when it comes to his players, I mean, he let his players go. I mean, what was that
Mm.
one that you got? He let the player play, or he kept him on the team. Oh, it was Tyreek Hill, wasn't it? When he what punched his girlfriend in the face or something like that, or who was
Mm.
that? That was that. I
Kareem
forgot
Hunt.
who that was.
Hunt.
Who?
I think
Kareem
that's
Hunt.
Kareem Hunt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kareem
And
Hunt.
that was
Yeah.
Kareem Hunt. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Mhm.
Andy let him stay on the team. I said, how do you do this? And so when it comes to that, I mean, you're that selfish that I just want to win the game. He's one of my best players. I got to keep him and all this stuff. Andy, you're a chump when it comes to that. I'm sorry. You're a
Mhm.
chump. And that's why Travis Kelsey probably remembered that. He remembered Kareem and all that stuff. That's why Patrick and Travis get away with what they got. You know what I mean? Because they knew Andy wasn't going to do anything. They knew he
That's
wasn't.
right. Yeah. Mike, do we need to start having the conversation that Shanahan can't get over the hump like Andy Reid did initially, and then all of a sudden maybe it'll click for him? What's I mean, is it
It's definitely the
Shanahan?
conversation. I mean, I think on this game, Shanahan
Mhm.
had a lot of responsibility in them losing. Um, it
Mhm.
just there should have been a little bit more creativity, I think, in the play calling on offense, especially when they got into the red zone and everything kind of crashed. Um,
Mhm.
it I've kind of eased up a little bit. Like I still believe in the team. Don't get me wrong. I'm a diehard 49er fan, but I've seen what 4 years of back to back, almost. And it's always something that doesn't work right, and a lot of times it seems to revolve around the offense more than the defense. Um, and so
Mhm.
yeah, it's like they keep saying he's the best play caller in the league and this and that, but Andy Reid was to me the best play caller because he called the right plays to win the game.
Yep.
Um, I mean, there were mistakes. Offensive line was really bad, and I think that's where the focus is going to be next year, building that offensive line. The defensive line, it is what it is. They put all their money into it. It didn't really do anything. It's not more you can do with it now. You don't spend all your money on it, but I think you can fix the offensive line and just try to make that offense better. And
What do you
Yeah.
think about them firing Wilkins?
uh, I didn't want them to do it only because I wanted consistency at that position. But if you're a head coach or if you're a boss or you're somebody in charge, I mean, a defensive coordinator is kind of like your right hand man, right? I mean, you got to feel like I can trust that person to always call the right plays, and I don't have to really be in their business. And Shanahan was constantly in Wilkes' business this whole season. So I felt like if you got to do that, then that's just not the right guy for you, and you got to let him go. Now, I think the interesting question someone asked me was like, well, if they had won the Super Bowl, do you think they would have fired him still? And I was like, well, probably not. So it is kind of messed up because it seems like it was based off of one game, but really it was kind of the whole season. There was something that just didn't seem to click. Like it was a conflict of coaching styles, and I don't think Shanahan was comfortable really with him, to say I can turn this over to you and not. And that's what happened.
Well, when
So,
I first sorry, Sal, I just want to get this in real quick.
oh, good. Easy.
When I first initially heard it, I immediately thought about, oh, he's an scapegoat because that's what Todd Bowles did with Leftwich. I felt that Leftwich
Yeah,
wasn't the issue with the offensive coordinator, and they fired him because Bowles had to save his own butt. I feel that Shanahan was doing the same thing, and like it always falls down to that.
That's a good point.
yeah. Well, the problem is you can't fire Shanahan because he's the offensive coordinator. Like he could go out and hire an offensive coordinator or get somebody to help him with play calling. But I think when you are the head coach and you are the offensive play caller on top of that, and then you got to sit up there and then also you know, try to work with the defensive coordinator, and you're sitting here telling him, don't do a zero blitz, and don't call plays from upstairs, and don't do this,
Mm,
and get more involved. And then, when I heard the exit, he kind of interview deal with Shanahan explaining why he did it, he said, it felt like all season there was a disconnect between the linebackers and the front seven, the front guys and the back guys. And, that was something that you kind of noticed with the run defense and why they kept getting gashed. And it was just, the linebackers are so critical to the defense, and they're the ones that call the protections up front, but then also telling the guys in the back what to do. And if there's not a real cohesive feel to it, then it doesn't work. And I think I kind of picked up on that. I think they picked up on it, and I think that was ultimately why he had to get fired.
mm.
Yeah, any concern, Mike? Because they also lost their assistant coach this year, so there is some turnover. And the assistant coach was a good
Oh
one. He
yeah,
went to Washington.
yeah. Happens every year with they get poached
Hmm.
every year. Eventually, it's going to catch up to them, but so far they've done a good job of either bringing in the right people or developing people in house. So it seems like it's been working out. Um, so we'll see, But yeah, it's a big impact, and he hasn't hired a defensive coordinator yet, so I'm not sure who he's going to get to replace Wilkes. So we'll see.
Hmm.
Hopefully, find out something
Yeah,
tomorrow or Tuesday.
and
Vrabel,
the,
Mike Vrabel.
yeah, they're
I
talking
think so
about
too.
Vrabel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be a good pickup.
yeah.
Yeah, Rabel is he was a former linebacker.
Right.
Hmm.
Ryans was a former linebacker. Salah was a linebacker. So, it's something about
Yeah.
having a guy who was a linebacker coaching a team that has a defense built around a linebacker. Makes a lot of sense.
Right.
John Lynch was a safety, but that's another story.
Yeah,
The Gravedigger had a decent game. Big Dom was on the sideline. There was a lot of other things going on. I don't know what Big Dom was doing on the sideline, by the way. I don't know what that was all about.
that's interesting. He was he was head of security MVP, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe there's a vote for that, and we just don't know about it, right?
I,
Just like there's a top referee crew that works Super Bowl, there's a top security crew that works the Super Bowl.
at
Let's talk
first,
about Brock. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
oh
Go
no, I
ahead,
was
Sal.
just gonna say, Dre.
No,
So
no.
at first, I thought he tripped Greenlaw, and that's why he got hurt going out. But then,
Yeah.
thought he
I got
stepped his
this
leg out.
vision. I got this vision that like Greenlaw should
Yeah.
have put on rollerblades, man. I mean, like the way he was carrying on and acting and flipping, and then how the cameraman had on the sideline, and both of them they're trying to itch to get in, and that's when he popped his Achilles,
Mhm.
and,
Right.
and he was like digging his heel in and moving and stuff. I'm like, what is wrong with this dude? Like he's on coke. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. The thing that sucks is that he had an Achilles injury this season. So it was a sprain or something, but it was a problem this season. So you kind of feel like he should have known better than to try to be that, put that much pressure on
Yeah.
that and to be that hyped up about it, knowing that there's a chance. But the guy's a tackle machine. He's got tons of energy. I think in that game, the way he was tackling, you could see that he had the energy, and it just just caught up to him. And unfortunately, it happened in the Super Bowl. So now the recovery time, he's probably going to miss most of all next
wow.
season. At least half of it.
Mm.
Just because of the recovery.
Yeah, and Warner, you can see. I love the reaction from Warner, man. That was just, oh my god. And Mahomes is like, "Hey, he just fell down, and got hurt."
Yeah.
You can see.
There should
Yeah.
be a meme. There should be a meme of Dom being on the sideline, and when Dre Graylaw is hopping up and down, he puts his foot out.
Great. That would be great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dre, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Go
No,
ahead.
no, no. No, we're good. Keep going, man.
All right. So I think we got the Super Bowl wrapped up. Let's talk about.
No,
Oh,
hold on,
I'm
hold on,
sorry.
hold on,
Wait,
real
wait, no.
fast.
Go ahead,
Go ahead.
Jermaine. And then now I
Yeah.
remember it was about Brock
Real
Purdy. But
fast.
go ahead.
Hey, Mike, I hear you saying that we're in a good position and all that stuff, but you know what? I woke up last night and I really couldn't sleep, and I was sitting there watching TV. I said, you know what? And I forgot, San Fran has not won a Super Bowl since '95. Do you put them in the same category as the Dallas Cowboys? I mean, every year, you know what I mean? They bring you up, they play good the whole season, and then all of a sudden, now they can't win the big one, just like Dallas. I mean, yes, they come a little bit further than Dallas, but I'm almost looking like you almost put them in the same category as Dallas. I mean,
Mhm.
I mean, look at it. Moody missing that extra point that really could have cost. That could have
Yeah.
helped. You know what I mean? And then you picked him in the third round. You know what I mean? To where you could have had maybe a bona fide defensive player or maybe an offensive player or whatnot. So I mean, going forward, I mean, how you feel? What do you think about that?
Um, it definitely has that feeling. I can't lie. I
Mhm.
mean, we're coming to Buffalo Bills of the NFC now. There's 3 Super Bowls in a row.
Mm,
So hopefully they get over the hump. I don't really have any answers anymore. It does feel like you're almost the Cowboys, but you're just not going. You are getting a little further. At least you are getting to the Super Bowl. Um, I like the fact that they always are at least in the mix and that they got a chance instead of being like totally out of it. But yeah, it is frustrating. Um, I was thinking of an analogy for what the game felt like to me, and it's like you ever seen a money boost where the money's swirling around and people have to grab the dollar bills,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it's like the money's swirling, and it's like almost like the Chiefs were giving money away. It's like they were doing everything to keep
Mhm.
they were gonna make you work for it, but they were really doing everything. I mean, they're yelling at each other, throwing interceptions, sacking
right.
Mahomes, everything that you could possibly ask for from a Chiefs team in terms of being beatable is what they were displaying. And like you're sitting there grabbing the money, but then every time you grab a dollar, you try to grab another dollar, you end up letting go the other dollar that you just grabbed, and then they turn the machine off, and then you had no money. And then that's what that felt like. It felt like the opportunities were just there, the money swirling around, and then the machine turns off, and then it was all for nothing. And
Right.
that's kind of what the season, like I said, this season was a failure.
Hmm.
Flat
Mhm.
out, it was a failure. They put all this investment into the defensive line. They put the investment into a lot of different things, and they got home field advantage throughout. They got everything you could possibly want, set up for you to win the Super Bowl, and it just turned out to be good enough to get to the Super Bowl. But I don't know what you do next. I almost feel like they're going to get a Super Bowl when you least expect it, kind of thing. Like
Mm.
Kansas City got it this year when no one expected them to get it, but then they got into the right position, and the rest is history. And I almost feel like if San Fran's going to get it, probably be the same way.
Th-
Mhm.
Brock Purdy, when I was watching the game, I was thinking like, wow, Brock, like you're doing your motions, you're doing your thing, but was that enough? What I'm trying to say is should he been more aggressive in the sense of taking over? Like to me, he was
Yes,
just in the call. You know what I mean? He's like,
yeah,
and
I agree. He was.
what's the future of Brock Purdy? Is that how he's going to be, or you know what I mean? It's kind of a flag to me.
I think it's more of we'll have to wait and see. I mean, he does have to elevate his game a little more. I mean, I think he doesn't have to be like those other guys, but he does have to make plays. When I was watching that game, I just kind of felt like, even with the pressure that was in his face because the offensive line was stinking it up, there still were some throws where you just got to hit the guy. You just got to make that play. And every time they
Mhm,
came down to those crunch passes, those ones where you got to have it, they didn't have it.
mhm,
The guy was open, even on that third down play when they could have scored. Grant Jennings was open and he was wide open, but the pressure was there because the guy didn't block. But still, he got a chance to get the ball off, and it's like you just got to hit the guy, man. It just
yeah.
has to happen. So I hope he can get better. I mean, if he can repeat what he did this season, then they definitely got a chance to go back to the playoffs and be a formidable opponent. But to win the Super Bowl, you don't have to be Mahomes, but you got to make those big plays when they're needed.
Yo, what up, Hef?
What up, Hef?
So what you're saying, Mike, is that he's not irrelevant to the team? I'm sorry, I just had to throw that out there.
uh,
Relevant.
That's a good one, Mike.
right.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the only hope I really have for the team, honestly, is in Brock Purdy. I mean, if he is the guy,
Mm,
then I think they'll be fine. If he's just a 1 year and
mm.
we're regressing kind of thing, the team's going right with him.
Yeah, I mean, it's they're gonna go where Purdy goes. There's no doubt about that. We'll see what happens next year. We'll see if they can, put the pieces back together. We know how tough it is to get back to the Super Bowl. I mean, being Eagles fans, especially when you lose it. I mean, we had a tough schedule, tougher time. There's a lot of things that have to fall into place. Now you're talking,
Yeah.
you're losing some coordinators. You're losing maybe Ayuk. There was a story out this morning that they just can't sign Ayuk with everybody else right now. They got a lot of dead cap money all of a sudden. Um, So I don't know if Ayuk stays, if he goes, but that would obviously be a big loss, and they'd have to
Yeah.
replace him.
Well,
So
they can franchise him if it came down to it because he's on the
mhm,
contract. He's trying to get an extension. So if he's gone, it's only because they're going to trade him for something
yeah,
else. Um, I think he's a lock that they'll stay. I think they got it worked out that he'll be there one way or the other. But it's just a
mhm,
lot of depth players are gone. Like the guy went Jennings, Juan Jennings.
mhm,
Um, he wants to stay. He was critical in the Super Bowl. He was the only guy that was getting open, and
Hmm.
he's done that a lot this season. But he's a free agent, um,
mhm.
so they got to figure out how to sign him. So there's a lot of depth players that are going to be gone, and they're critical, especially when you have injuries.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But yeah, Ike's going to be there.
And if
I don't.
Kittles is slowing down,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
He might be. I mean, he's getting up there, and anyhow, all right. Well, we'll
yeah,
see what happens
yeah.
next season. You
Yeah,
know,
the team is set up. The team is set up. They could probably make one more run, and then after that, the house of cards is falling down.
mhm.
It's going to be very tough after this coming season to get anywhere with the cap situation, and then there's the age of players. But they got a chance.
I think the biggest concern is McCaffrey's health. I mean, there's a lot of miles on those tires. That guy has just been. I mean, Carolina used him to death. Now San Fran's using him to death. McCaffrey has gotten hit. He's gotten hurt. I mean, the one play, his knee looked like it went the complete opposite direction, and he got up, which I don't know how he did. But
Yeah,
sooner or later,
Double jointed.
this is going to catch up to him.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. That's why I said I think they got a chance for one solid year, and
mhm,
then health and all the things that usually go wrong are probably going to catch up to them.
yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, Purdy in that offense is on film, and that is true. That's what happened to the Eagles too. I mean, they figured it out. And the Eagles didn't adjust. I don't. But I will say this: Brian Johnson's all yours now.
He
So,
sure is.
all
He
right,
sure is.
let's bring it up, Dre. Let's see how we did for
Okay.
the season. If you don't mind, thank you, sir. Let's see how we did. And preseason predictions. Did we get close or not close? So we'll roll through these really quickly. Everybody pretty much picked the Niners, I think, in the West. For the most part. Yeah, we pretty much were all in
Yeah.
agreement off of that. And yeah, no issues there. NFC East, we were all wrong, thinking the Eagles would win that one. Wound up being the Cowboys. Interestingly, I saw something online too that everybody thinks Washington's going to win next year in the division. I don't know. I wouldn't go that crazy yet. And yes, have
I mean,
Brian Johnson.
on paper right now, the East does seem like a clean slate. I mean, we talked about it
Mhm.
last week, but I still think
Yeah.
Philadelphia is going to win that
Yeah.
division.
Well, we'll
Better.
see.
I didn't get to look up who won. Who finished last in the division? Was it the Commanders or was it the Giants?
I think it was
Oh,
Commanders.
It was the Commanders, I think.
Yeah.
Does it really matter?
Well,
Yeah, right? Yeah, because
I
Commanders,
think it was the
they,
Commanders,
yeah,
but not
they,
by much.
mm,
I think there was when the Giants played the Commanders in that that game. I think that's what put the Giants up. I was just curious about that.
yeah. All right, what else we got, Trey? Let's keep going here. The South, the Saints, the Panthers. Jesus.
Yeah, I had the
Oh
Panthers.
my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the Saints. Yeah.
I didn't
Falcons.
see that, Dre. You had the Panthers.
Jermaine
Yeah, I had the
Falcons.
Panthers, man. They were on paper all season. They're talking about that they had the best
Mhm.
for them, the best.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had a good coaching staff.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked like the number one pick and everything.
Right,
and
number one
the
pick.
division.
Right.
Mhm.
The
I mean, that
division looked
division
like
was so
garbage to start
bad.
with. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, the Bucks won it. I mean, of all teams, and we didn't really think much of the Bucks at all.
No, nobody. Everybody had the Bucks either in last or second to last. Nobody
Yeah,
even have streams over there. He had them
Well,
tanked, but he did have the Panthers last. I'll give him that. He had the Panthers
yeah,
last.
you got to thank Philadelphia for the Bucks. They got confidence.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they're signing their quarterback. They got their future quarterback because of him.
I don't
Really,
believe in Bryce
really,
Young.
Sal? Really,
Yeah.
really, Sal? Come on.
They're giving that guy a second career, man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
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 All right, what else we got? NFC North, the Lions. Most of us
Ooh.
picked the Lions. K Dizzle picked the
What did I
Lions.
pick the Vikings for? I don't remember that.
Yeah, you picked the Vikings somehow. Oh well, I mean, we also didn't expect. Actually, the Vikings had good
yeah.
wide receivers, and obviously Kirk Cousins wins down, which you
Well,
didn't
Kirk
expect.
Cousins went down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Jefferson went out too.
Yep.
So that really hurt them. Yeah, they had a rough season.
But look where we have the Packers guys in the back.
Yeah. I had him in the
didn't.
back.
Right, Mike, you did, but a lot of us.
I do the Packers. Yeah, I thought the
Jermaine
Packers
had the
was gonna be
Packers.
decent.
Hef, you had the Packers.
Yeah, he said he was dead wrong on the Packers. Yeah.
Yeah, no one saw that coming with the Packers and all that. But they came on strong. They came on strong towards the end of the season, though.
They did,
Yeah, they came on
Mhm.
strong at the right
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Jordan Love, man. Yeah, I was like, wow, okay.
They're going to be a team to reckon with next year. So we'll see what happens. Them and the Lions might go at it. That's going to be a decent division with those two. And if Kirk Cousins resigns with the Vikings, they got two good wide receivers. So you never know. I mean, it's going to be an interesting division. That might be the most interesting division next year.
Yeah, Dre, what happened to your boy
Yeah,
Josh
Cousins.
Dobbs? What happened to your boy there?
Man, disappeared. Seriously, like, what happened to
Yeah.
Dobbs, man?
Yeah.
Non-existent.
Yeah, you was a Dobbs. Yeah, you was a
Yeah, I
Dobbs
was.
fan. Yeah,
I was.
The Bears, they're making some moves. They might do some trades, especially at the quarterback position. We'll see what happens with the
Yeah.
Bears. I don't think we're
Got a lot
ready.
of draft picks.
I
still.
think they're in a good, with the draft picks. I think they're in a good position. Whatever they do, I mean, as long as they get it right.
Yeah,
Right.
You
they
know?
got 2 top 10 picks, right? I think they got
Yep.
they got two, they
Yeah.
got number 1 and 10, I think. So they're up there.
Well,
All right,
hands
AFC
down,
West.
all the way down.
No
the
question
Chiefs.
about this one.
Yeah.
Everybody, Superchargers, interesting, except for
Yeah, that is interesting.
yeah, everybody thought the Chargers were going to do it.
They were supposed to. I mean, that the roster, you had to expect they were going to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
total
with that roster,
letdown.
Mike. Yeah, with that roster,
Total letdown.
no brainer. Yeah.
No brainer whatsoever.
Yeah.
But now we're gonna add, Saquon to the mix. And then what happens with Eckler? I mean, they're gonna have a thunder and lightning kind of thing. I don't know.
You got Harbaugh, who's better. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
You know.
Chargers might do something. LA Chargers.
Well, Eagles got their offensive coordinator, so we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what
Right.
happens.
We can see that. Let's go to the AFC East now.
Oof, this
Bills,
one.
Jets.
Wow, everybody.
Miami for Jermaine, Miami for Hef.
Mm-hmm.
KD had the Jets. Okay, I had the Jets. Mike had the Jets.
I had the Pats a second. Boy, I was wrong about that.
Oh, good
They just
God.
Totally fell apart.
Good God, Mike.
Oh, you had the Pats second. Yeah, look
Wow.
at that.
Yeah,
Well,
I thought they were rebound with new coaching. Boy, that didn't happen.
Nah,
I had the Finns last. I just didn't buy into the Finns
did.
at all.
You did.
Yeah,
So
you did. Yeah.
I just did not see that coming. But who knows with Tyreek? I don't know. We'll see what happens this year with them.
Is the Bills going to run it in 2024? 25 season?
They might.
Or is it the
Like that.
Finns?
I think it all depends on what Aaron Rodgers shows up. If if
Yeah.
he's healthy, I think that'll change the Jets' fortunes around pretty quickly. But if he's if he goes up and blows his Achilles again on the fourth play of the game, then yeah,
Mhm.
Oh,
probably the Bills again.
Big time chokers, Hef says. We'll see. Are you talking about the Bills, Hef? I guess you maybe talking
Yeah.
about the Bills.
AFC
Probably the
South.
Dolphins.
AFC South, Jags. Oh God,
Jags.
everybody had the Jags. Yeah, the Colts.
I had the Texans last. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I had the
I
Texans.
knew the
too.
Texans. I had the Texans second. I had
Wow.
them second. I thought they would be better.
Mhm.
Just I didn't think they'd be that much better than the Jags, but the Jags just I don't know what to say about them.
Yeah.
Seriously, big time chokers.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll talk about overrated. I know, Dre, that was one of yours,
Yeah.
So, for that quarterback, we'll find out.
Texans might take this division next year.
I think they will. I think they got
I
a
think
really
so
good
too.
team. They made some smart picks.
They should.
You look at their draft pick, they were number 1 last year. They rated their draft class. Well, I mean, they had 2 top picks. I get it, but they rated them really high. And
Yeah.
yeah, you can see
And
why.
so far, both picks panned out. I mean,
Yeah, they did. They
one
hit them.
got offensive rookie of the year, and the other one got defensive rookie of the year.
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
can't go wrong with
yeah.
that.
Can't nope.
They made some bold moves. You got to give them that. And they've given Dougie P some stuff to work with. And yeah, we'll see.
Yep, Texans are for real.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, Tank Dell. Yep.
Doug
Yeah.
Peterson on the hot seat this year.
I would say yes.
Maybe.
I would say yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe not hot enough to get fired, but hot enough that if they don't get better, he would get fired.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nick Sirianni on the hot seat this year? No, I'm sorry. All right, anyway.
He's walking death row, man.
The
Meanwhile,
North, we all went with Sierra on this one. We all thought the Bengals were going to
Bengals,
win
Ravens. Wow. So Mike had the Ravens. Everybody else had the Bengals.
this one. Yeah.
Then it was a mixture there. It looks like Steelers and Ravens. Yeah, everybody. We couldn't. I guess at the time we were looking at
Mhm.
If
how the
Burrow didn't,
Steelers.
if
Yeah, go
Burrow
ahead.
didn't, if Burrow didn't get hurt, I
Yes.
don't know. I think it came down to like the last game between the Bengals and the Ravens. But yeah, if Burrow didn't get hurt, yeah, I think we all would have been right. I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it'll be interesting if the Steelers trade for Justin Fields. What will Tomlinson do with him? It'll be interesting
yeah,
to see that.
I think it's
you
interesting
know.
regarding Burrow is the guy
Mm.
ever going to stay healthy? I mean, I think every season they come in with some injury, and
Some
Right.
kind of,
at
Yeah.
some point you might
Missed
get
most
that
of the
feeling that the
preseason.
guy's is always going to be hurt, and you're always going to be losing time. Not 7 games without him.
You're
Right.
right. You're right.
Right.
And can we talk about the Browns a second? Like, I'm tired of hearing about every year, like the Cowboys. Everybody's like, they're going to be awesome. They're going to do it. The Browns every year, man, they do not do it. What is with that team?
Yeah,
First,
Deshaun
I don't
Watson.
Deshaun Watson was a big bust.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I think that was, granted they've had 29 other quarterbacks before him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
29.
there's a track record there. But yeah, I think with the
Mhm.
Browns, I didn't think what's the name got coach of the year. I didn't think it was that great of a coaching job. I think Flacco was, a miracle to me. I don't know. I wasn't all that impressed.
I was on the Flacco
I was
train.
impressed with their defense, but
I was like, Flacco's back.
Flack Attack was back, and then it just
Flack attack.
went off the
Came to
rails.
and then
Man.
the playoffs, he just stunk. I was like, dang.
Playoffs?
I mean,
Yeah, man.
8 interceptions in 5 games,
Right.
man. That's just telling, man. He's a turnover machine. I think he had more turnovers in 5 games than some quarterbacks had throughout the whole season.
I
Yeah.
saw him
It's just crazy.
on Pat's show. The guy, he used to be the punter for the Colts.
McAfee,
Yeah.
yeah.
And Flacco was on there, and you know what? The way I looked at it, I think Flacco didn't even care.
Yeah, he
he's
did.
like, I don't care.
He probably did. He had nothing to lose.
He had nothing to lose.
He was having fun. He was just going there to have fun.
Exactly.
So when it all fell apart, he was kind of like, "Well, I got paid."
Yeah.
He
Right.
got,
And
I
Have-
don't know how much
have
money over
brought
his
this up.
lifetime career.
yeah, this is a
T.
good
Higgins.
point. Have brought that up about T. Higgins. Yeah, we'll see what happens with him. Maybe
Yeah.
the Eagles will pick him up to be their. No. The Eagles pick up Howie, who gets T. Higgins. I don't know, but man, yeah, T. Higgins is a big part of that team. So we'll have to find out
Yep.
what happens. Howie does have some cap space, but we'll see. All right, let's go to the awards here. What do we got here? MVP. I thought Burrow might have been right if he was healthy. Mike nailed it. Mahomes.
Right.
Yep,
You know?
I got
No, actually, it
Mahomes.
was
Trey
Lamar.
nailed it.
Lamar was MVP.
Yeah, K Dizzle, get out.
Lamar, that's right, Sal. Lamar was MVP.
Yeah, Lamar won.
Yeah,
season.
but I mean,
Should've been.
Mahomes still.
I mean, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's like 1A and 1B. I mean, come
Justin
on.
Jefferson, Jermaine.
Yeah, really, Justin Jefferson, Jermaine? Come on.
If he didn't get hurt, I mean, come on. I mean, he still had an amazing season, even when he did get hurt.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Well, I
yeah,
mean, from a receiver standpoint, Tyreek was the one who had
yeah, that's true.
the
But
most amazing
Yeah,
receiver
that's
season.
true.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Justin got hurt. Justin got hurt. He missed six
Yeah.
games or something like that.
He
Right.
missed a good chunk
Yeah,
of games, and then really had nobody throwing the ball.
Yeah.
Well,
Hef had
Hef
Tua.
definitely,
Yeah.
Tua.
Expressed his feelings about Tua.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jesus, Tua.
Tua had it for half the season. Half the season he was.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
K
You know?
Dizzle, Hef, you got to talk to him about Hurts. Come on, get him
Oh
off the Hurts
God,
train.
man,
Yeah,
he's just
come on.
wow. I mean,
You
Kate.
know,
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, I love that he's a diehard fan. But come on,
yeah,
let's be
yeah,
real, KD. Come on, man.
yeah. Got to talk to KD on that one.
All right, let's keep going.
All right, what else we got here? We got
The Ryan
biggest
Leaf
bust.
biggest bust.
Rodgers.
Rogers.
He was,
Oh.
even though I mean, you know.
Of course, Mike Collar from Arizona. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anthony
Yeah,
Richardson.
it's like
I said Dakota. KD said Dakota. F said
Oh,
Rogers.
that's when I found out. That's what I found out about
Mhm.
Dakota. I said, "Well, who the hell is Dakota?" That's when
Mhm.
I found out about Dakota. Okay,
I'm gonna put
all
this
right.
up here, man. He said that K Dizzle is drunk in love with Philly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
drunk
true.
in love.
yeah,
You know,
But look,
yeah. I think Jermaine. I was gonna say I think Jermaine got it right for the biggest bust. You know, the other guys all got hurt, so it's kind of hard to say.
yeah.
But Carr was definitely a disappointment. I mean, that dude. I mean, he was yelling at receivers, yelling at offensive linemen. You know, he throw an interception and go yell at somebody else for his mistake, and it's just like, man, that guy's not good.
yeah, but to me, man, Dakota, yeah, like I said last week, 10 interceptions. Okay, great. You didn't go over that, but it was still a bust. You still didn't do nothing. It's a bust to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the dude was an MVP talk though. I mean,
Yeah, he
had a
improved his
good
game,
season.
but
Just-
he didn't improve it enough
Yeah.
to go to win the playoffs. I mean, Green Bay shellacked them.
Yeah.
yeah,
Hef's making the argument for Rodgers because he was hurt the first game. Was it one of the first plays, right? Was the second play or something?
No,
Yeah,
it was
four
It
plays.
was the
Fourth play.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fourth play in the game.
And Dakota was runner up in MVP over Mahomes. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
So
he was
yeah.
all the way up until they lost. What game was it they lost that I think lost him the MVP? Man, I forgot what game they lost, but yeah, there was one critical loss, and after that, it was like, nope, he's not getting it.
Jeez. Ah, man.
All
What else we
right.
got, Jay?
Paper Tiger
Tiger.
team.
Good only on paper.
On
Wow. A lot of cowgirls.
Look at that, Mike. So in the improvement, we all said cowgirls.
Yep.
Yeah,
Have said the Jets, which they were.
Yeah.
I mean,
Jets.
all right, Rodgers got hurt. Jermaine said the Bills.
I said the Bills. I mean, look at it in the middle of the season. They were a paper tiger team, you know. But then they turned.
they were.
Yeah.
They,
Then
they were struggling.
Yeah, when they fired that
that.
coordinator. Yeah, when they fired that coordinator, now they started to figure out how to run the ball. You know, so
Yeah.
And the Jets, even though they lost Rodgers, you know, that defense was supposed to be all world.
They were supposed to be. I was on the board with the
struggling.
Jets.
Yeah.
I was on board with that defense.
That defense they got broke down a couple of times. That defense was not as good as people thought they were going to be.
No, they got work to do. So, all right, what else we got here? What's next?
Jawbreaker, get no respect.
Jabberjaw.
Oh, I got the
Jabberjaw.
Lions.
Mike had the Texans. Wow.
Yeah, Mike had the Texans.
So did I. And Jermaine.
Yeah.
Have Streams had the Bears. Come
Bears.
on. Yeah, I did not believe in the Jets.
I think K Dizzle got a good pick though.
Yeah,
with the Rams.
yeah.
They really were a down team.
Yeah, that was a good
They
pick.
showed
Yeah,
up
K
this
Dizzle.
year.
Yeah, that was a good pick. That was a good
KD.
pick.
Yeah, that was.
Mhm. Rams are going to be a team next year. They might give the 49ers a little bit of trouble. Maybe.
Yeah. The only thing is they lost Raheem Morris, who was a big part of why they had a good season. You know, again, losing coordinators. So now we got to see who McVay, gets for him. I think he did get a coordinator. I think he did hire somebody. But yeah, and what's that defense going to look like next year?
They got good wide receivers. That's for sure.
Yeah, right. Rams. That's pick.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big surprise.
That was.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to next. Let's see. Oh, straight cash homie.
Wow.
So Sal Rashard Penny.
That's my Rashard Penny pick, baby. Man, that guy made out a killing. He didn't even play. I think he had 4 carries a whole season, something like that. God.
Yeah.
Maybe
Aaron
two. I don't
Rodgers
know.
is on there.
Hargrove.
Hargrave,
Hargrave.
he did all right in the
Lamar
Super
That's,
Bowl.
Jackson.
Yeah,
What do you
that was
think?
a
What do you
bust.
think?
Yeah, yeah. You picked Lamar Jackson. That was a good
Lamar
one.
Jackson, woo, sure.
Lamar
Yeah.
Jackson. Yeah, sorry, that was the best pick. Yeah.
Yeah,
Man.
I gotta put up there. Hef is like Dre.
Yeah. I was kidding, obviously, with
Yeah,
Rashard Penny,
Rashard.
guys. I mean, I think you know that that was not a
DJ Moore.
Yeah.
Oh wow, DJ Moore Hef.
yeah, have
Okay.
DJ Moore. All right. Well,
And Derek Carr. There we go. So that really makes it like the Ryan Leaf.
mhm. Yeah, they did show Penny on the sideline drooling to get in. You're right, Hef. They did show him that.
Yeah,
That's for
they
sure.
Yeah,
did.
that dude.
They
All
did.
right. Well,
He made easy money this year. His
yeah.
body should be in great shape.
Easy money this year. No miles on his tires, man. The
Turnover
turnover
machine.
machine. Danny Dimes. A lot of Danny Dimes.
Well, I was wrong. Dakota only had 10, so I was wrong.
Yeah. Josh Allen, Jermaine. Josh Allen. Yeah.
He had some bad turnovers this year, but
Mhm.
he wasn't as bad as like Flacco.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did have
I
some
think
bad
Flacco
turnovers.
ended up with,
Yeah.
yeah, I think Flacco ended up with more interception than Josh Allen in the end.
I
Yeah,
don't even know.
Dakota did prove us wrong,
Yeah.
but
I
they
don't
still
know how
didn't go
many.
nowhere.
Dre, how many? I mean, I don't even know how many picks Danny Dimes had this year. If it was more than.
You know what?
I mean,
Well, he didn't
I didn't.
play.
I don't know, but you know what? Because it's going to lead into the next part. But I think Travis Lawrence had the most
he
turnovers
might. He might have.
with the fumbles and interceptions. I think
Yeah.
he did.
He might have. I think you're right.
Yeah.
All right. What do we got?
Next one.
Boom! Where that truck come from?
Oh man, Parsons.
You had Micah Parsons, Hargrove.
Yeah, we all had
A
Parsons.
lot of us
Don't-
had Parsons.
I was going off of some kind of draft. I don't know what I was thinking with Thibodeau for the
Man.
Giants, but he was looking pretty good. Maybe first 2 games. That was it.
Yeah, Jermaine, look at this. Look at K Dizzle again. Jalen Carter. Come on. Man, he was looking like it in the beginning, and then he just.
He sure
Yeah, he
did.
did.
Well, guys, looking at
Early
this
on.
list, the majority is Micah. Is he a bust from this thing?
Ugh.
You know?
Yeah, I think it's looked like it's leading towards that way. Is that he's a bust?
Yeah.
You know?
A
Mm,
lot more talk,
Yeah.
lot more talk than action. that's
Yeah,
for
because
sure.
everybody's knowing how to defend him. But my thing is, I think Dallas is using him wrong because they're putting Parsons in the middle of the line. I mean, just leave him on the
Mhm.
outside, like Hassan.
On the edge.
You know what I mean? On the edge, and just let him do his thing. I mean, you throwing him in the middle, he's going to get sucked in and whatnot. You know, so
Right.
yeah,
And he's kind of light.
yeah,
You
exactly.
know, he's just not big enough for that.
Yep.
Jalen Carter, K Dizzle, man, drinking the juice like
Right.
Hef
Yeah, I
said.
Hargrove.
said drinking
You
the
can't pick
juice.
Stacey Abrams as your MVP. Come on. All right. All right. Who we got?
AB, hold my beer. The biggest distraction. So Arthur Juan Brown. Okay.
AJ Brown.
I know.
put AJ Brown.
He
in
was
there.
I
for a
know. I'm
little
just
bit.
messing.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was a
Aaron
little
Rodgers.
He was for a
bit.
little
Travis
bit.
Kelsey. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Ooh,
I
yeah.
think he was the biggest distraction, even though it turned out to work out for them in the end. But you know, every game. I mean, God, how many times did they show Taylor Swift in the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
I have to agree with that.
Yeah, true.
Chris
true.
Jones, huh?
Yeah,
Chris Jones. Interesting.
yeah. He got signed, and that kind of calmed that down. But they thought he was going to hold out for much longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike said Aaron Rodgers. And yeah, Jermaine, you said Rodgers and Kyler Murray.
Yeah,
Kyler Murray. Yeah.
Yeah. Rodgers was kind of a distraction off the field, you know. So everything he just couldn't stop talking. Every time he got on Pat's show, he always had to say something controversial, you know, like something stupid, like we didn't land on the moon or something like that. It's like, come on, man, just stop it. He always got some conspiracy theory. I was just like, man, what is this guy doing?
Mhm. Oh,
About
Kelsey on a
Kelsey.
rant. Here we go, man. Have on a rant about Kelsey. If I see his ugly mug one more time, I'm going to scream. That includes their mom and dad. Yeah.
Hey, he went in all in on the parents. Hey.
Yeah, went all in. Mama, Papa, Kelsey. All right, what we got? What we got?
We got must have
Must
stick
have
on
a
his
stick 'em on their
hand.
hands. Jefferson,
Yeah, I had Justin, but he got hurt.
Adams, Chase, Jefferson.
Yeah, mostly. We were all pretty
Yeah.
much on the same page
This is-
there. Yeah,
This was
but
basically Puka Nacua. Puka Nacua is basically who got this award.
did, man.
Yeah, most definitely. I
Mhm.
agree. Yeah, I agree.
Family
Well,
is not.
Jermaine, remember you said in the beginning of our season, you're like, who the heck is this guy? Remember?
Mhm.
Jermaine
Which
was
one?
like, uh,
Nakua, yeah.
the guy, the rookie wide receiver.
Puka
Friggin-
Nicole.
Nakua,
Yeah, I
yeah.
didn't know who
Mhm.
I
That
didn't know
is,
who he
I
was.
mean, he wasn't supposed to be
Came
anything,
out of
you know.
nowhere. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Nobody
Yeah.
picked Tyreek. No, nobody picked
Nobody
Tyreek.
picked Tyreek. Yeah.
Nope. Wow.
You know, Jermaine, I mean, you were the one saying maybe they need Tyreek. They're going to miss him. I don't know. Maybe they did miss
No,
him.
no.
They
What
won two
Tyreek?
without
What
him.
for? Yeah, I
For
know
Kansas City.
exactly.
Kansas City.
Well,
Yeah.
the Kansas
Yeah.
City need him. Doesn't
What?
look like it.
No, that shut my mouth.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm eating crow on that. You know.
Who knows? It would have made their life easier. That's for sure. It would have made their life
Yeah,
easier.
Oh
probably.
yeah, it would
Yeah,
have been.
I
Yeah,
agree.
Yeah, it
yeah,
would have.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. Because that would have opened up Kelsey more. But, you know, and yeah, I agree with you, Hef. Like, if I see Jason Kelsey even with the shirt off again drinking beer, no, like, that's enough of that. So, you know. All right, Dre, what do we got? Wrapping this
Murphy's
up.
Law, the worst luck. Wow, the
Oh, I got the
Niners.
Niners.
Wow, Sal.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. In a way, you were right
The
about that.
Vikings,
Micah was right about the
Chargers, Colts,
Vikings.
Bears,
Colts,
Cowboys, and
Bears,
Raiders.
Cowgirls. It's interesting.
Really,
Hepster
all
said
those
the
teams have,
Cowgirls.
yeah.
I mean, Cowboys, they just can't. God. Raiders, I don't know. Jermaine, you can talk about that one, but but yeah,
Yeah.
Cowgirls is interesting.
I kind of agree with KD with the Bears.
Mm,
Just like they're now talking about trading away Justin Fields. I mean, I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah,
Chargers
I
are
can agree with all of
interesting.
these. Yeah. You
Mm,
know, I mean, the Colts lost their quarterback who was looking great. You know, the Chargers fell apart. You know, the Raiders had fired their coach in the middle of the season. I mean, the Vikings lost Kirk Cousins. I mean, I think all of these, you know, and the Niners, you know, stubbed their toe in the Super Bowl. I mean,
Right.
geez, you know, they all kind of had like bad luck in the worst way.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I love this Romo picture because that was against Seattle. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
Yep.
muffed it.
yeah.
Hef has
Booty on
uh-oh.
fire.
Booty on
Coach of the
fire. Hot seat.
Stan. Okay, you had Stanley.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
that was right.
McCarthy, McCarthy, and Todd Bowles. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Belichick turned out to be right. We all thought that wouldn't happen, but I mean, he's gone. You know,
Yeah.
Jermaine was right
Yeah,
about that. KD
Wayne's
was right
right
about
about
that
that.
too.
Yeah, KD got Belichick.
Hef says, can Andy Reid surpass Belichick in the next 5 years? He might. Depends on what Mahomes does. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
they're
might.
considered a dynasty, man.
He might.
yeah,
Especially if he wins 3 in a row, I don't see how you don't. But you know,
right.
and Stefani got Coach of the Year. Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, he did. I don't think he should have, but
I think. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree
another
with you, Mike,
story.
and,
Yeah,
and
that's another
have
story. Yeah,
shaking my head. Yeah, I get it.
Hmm.
yeah. We
Well,
went the
I think
Lions.
if I had to pick now, I would say Sirianni. and
Oh
probably
yeah,
McCarthy. I think both. I think the NFC East is. Oof, you got some coaches on the hot seat. Even the
yeah.
Giants. I don't.
I
You
think
could have.
Daboll's in trouble.
Yeah,
You know, there
you
was.
could have
I mean,
3 out of 4, Mike. Hmm.
everything that happened with him and that defensive coordinator at the end, where it's like, did he quit? Did he not quit? Did he resign? What happened? You know,
Hmm.
they was just
Right.
they were arguing with each other. I mean, yeah, that's kind of a mess there.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Coulda,
Coulda,
woulda,
woulda,
shoulda.
shoulda.
Early playoff exit team: Vikings, Eagles.
Yeah. Mike said the Eagles. Well, they did.
Sorry,
They did.
sorry.
They
Ravens,
did.
Bills,
Bills,
Vikings,
Ravens.
Chargers, and Bills.
Chargers didn't even make it.
They didn't make it.
Um,
Yeah, yeah.
Jermaine said the Bills. All right. Yeah. The Vikings. Yeah. The Vikings. K Dizzle and I were on the same page with them. But who knows?
I would say the Ravens are the one.
Mhm.
They early playoff exit team. I mean, I know they got the first
They got to the
round, but
championship game. I
they got
mean,
the championship game. But to me,
yeah.
it felt more like, damn, y'all should have won.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was their
Yeah.
shot.
Oh yeah. I feel like every
Mhm.
team that Kansas City played through the playoffs up to the Super Bowl, they should have won. The Bills should have won. The Ravens should have won. Niners should have won. I mean, they all had their chances, just didn't do it.
So, Mike, are you right then? I guess it's the Eagles won this then.
Yeah, yeah. I
Mhm.
mean, I thought there might be a little bit of a regression, not as bad as it turned out. Like I thought there'd be like just one of those things where like a Super Bowl hangover kind of thing. But I had no idea that the Eagles would have had the season they had. Not in a million years I would have thought they would fall apart like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hef saying Cowboys were probably earliest exit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's a
Jerry
good one.
Jones is
Yeah.
ticked.
Yeah, because they went out. They had everything too. They had second seed, home field. Everything that they could ask for, and to lose the way they did to the Packers, where they got thoroughly beaten. It wasn't even
Yeah.
close.
Well, he's even
Mhm.
close. All right, we got to speed up a little bit here. So,
Yeah.
rookie sensation: Jalen Carter, Jake Moody,
Mhm.
Yeah,
Jalen Hyatt, Jalen Carter, right? Kincaid, right? Oh yeah, Kincaid, yeah.
Yeah.
he's all
Daniel
right.
Forbes and Anthony
He
Richardson.
He didn't
Yeah.
do too good.
Yeah,
We'll see how
Yeah.
Anthony does this year, but yeah, we'll see how
let's
he does.
keep going.
Yeah.
Don't call it a comeback. Veteran
Brandon
out.
Cooks.
Brandon Cooks,
he didn't.
Jordan
do good.
Love. Well,
Yeah,
veteran
that's a good
outbreak
one.
comeback. Well,
Yeah.
Jordan's a rookie, right? But
So, Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram.
yeah, I was thinking tight end, man. I don't know.
Yeah. Baker Mayfield. Kate Dizzle.
Maybe that's the one. Maybe it's Baker.
Jimmy G. Well, he's in a little bit of trouble
Yeah.
now.
Mar
Yeah,
Hamlin.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Baker Mayfield.
Mhm.
Oh my God, Jimmy G's
Yeah.
on performance enhancements. PED.
Mike, is
Yeah.
he done, Jimmy G? Like, is any team gonna get him now?
I think he might still be a chance as a backup, but yeah, he's
Yeah.
definitely gonna be a starter anymore.
Yeah. He's
All right, let's
done.
go. Oh, that's ooh.
Now it's just the top picks are the overall season award.
All right, Niners, Eagles. Oh, Eagles. Okay,
Man,
enough said.
jeez.
That's
Oh,
it.
wow.
Enough said.
Up until that game, that was it was between those two teams. It was like, oh, they're the two best teams in the NFC, But then after that game, it went in
Mhm.
different directions.
Wow, that's
Yep.
It was like a fork in the road, right?
Yup.
Yep.
AFC Chiefs, Ravens. Wow, Bengals, Dolphins, Bengals. Wow. Okay. Well, Mike and Sal. Sal got the Chiefs, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chiefs.
Down
Ravens.
Mahomes ever again, right?
Yeah.
I was on
So
that
somebody
Bengals
beats them.
bandwagon.
Yeah. So somebody beats them. You gotta. All right. What else? We got Super Bowl picks, right? Here we go.
Full chance.
Yeah.
Oh, who got it right? Who got it right?
Sal got it right.
Man, that hurts.
Sal, you made up for your season picks.
Yep. Yeah. they got
Bengals. I had the Eagles. KD
Have-
had the Eagles. Jermaine had the Eagles.
come on, seriously,
F-
come on, man. Dolphins, okay, man. Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well,
Doug Peterson.
Oh, hey, I can be embarrassed about that.
Nico
Yeah.
Ryans. Yes.
Yeah.
Dan
I mean,
Campbell.
I
Nick.
guess
no.
had Doug Peterson. Yeah.
Mike.
Oh God,
McDaniel.
hey Dizzle, please.
K's all over. Look, half was all over Miami, man. All over him.
Yeah, he was. Well, he
Ah.
had to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he had him in the Super Bowl.
But
He
K
did right for
Dizzle,
half
Nick
the season.
Sirianni, KD, really? I mean, God. Man.
Would you guys say is D'Amico Ryans?
I think it's Ryan personally. Definitely over Stefanski.
I think so. I give it to Ryan's. Yeah.
Yes, you were, Hef. You were high.
I think he was just high. Period. Forget
You
on
just
Miami.
high. All right, what else?
All right,
GM
GM
of-
of the year.
Yeah,
GM
that's
of
the last
the-
category.
Oh, you got to get the Chiefs. I don't know. He let Tyreek go, and he still won the Super Bowl. Oh, come on, Dre and KD. Seriously, I mean,
Shut
that
up.
makes me want to throw up. That makes
Shut
me,
up.
and
Yeah.
Jermaine too. That makes me want to throw up, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Joe
Howie.
Douglas.
Howie.
I did think the Ravens GM did have a good year. I mean, they
Mhm.
improved that team quite a bit. With the receivers, even though he didn't do good in the playoff and kind of cost them, but Flowers was a big draft pick and a big reason why Lamar had such a great season. And
Got
then
it.
Isaiah Likely and the running
Got
back
it.
that they drafted, undrafted that came out of the HBCU. They had
Yeah,
some really good
yeah.
picks.
Check
So I
Kent-
thought the
check
Ravens
Chris's
did a
bag.
good job.
I can't see. How do you not get the Chiefs? I mean, this guy just won
It might be another one.
back-to-back championships. I mean, he's about to win 3 maybe. So, I mean, you got to give Veach his, his props. I mean,
Yeah, granted, kind of had it easy. I mean, you got Mahomes.
yeah, but I
Yeah,
mean, he's still got to build a team around him. He still made the decision to get Tyreek Hill, and you know what? He got rid of Tyreek Hill, and he got some better players around him. I mean, he didn't have any superstars. He just had solid players all around. I mean, you got to give the guy credit. You
yeah.
know?
No, I'm not saying the credit. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
definitely for sure. I mean, I still probably lean towards the Ravens just because of the improvement. I mean, the Chiefs kind of had a team. I mean, the Chiefs had trouble, because they had to build depth without a lot of money because they do have some cap issues, and it's not going to get better because Mahomes' money starts to kick in too.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
Mhm.
the Chiefs the GM for the Chiefs definitely did a great job. I just thought the Ravens could show much more improvement, but
You got to win the Super Bowl. It's easy with Lamar, right? You could say Lamar and Mahomes. They have, I don't know.
All right,
So
let's see.
that
that's
was
it.
it. Yeah.
That
All
is
right.
it. All right.
Well, good stuff, guys. I mean, that was interesting. It's always fun to look back and see what we were smoking and all that stuff.
Well, it's
We'll do that
Good
interesting.
job,
again.
Penny.
Yeah, I actually like it because it's
Mhm.
what we were going off of all season and
Yeah.
everything. But
Yeah.
we never really got in. We could be running over, but Sal was going to bring up what we talked about in our text. Actually, it was Hef that brought it up about overrated players. And I was thinking quarterbacks, and I first came out and I said, I said Hurts, but Hurts needs to prove to me wrong coming up this season. But then I also said Trevor Lawrence because I was disappointed on the way he played this past season. And as for a high draft pick, I felt that he should have been better. But we never got your opinion, Jermaine. I think we did get your opinion, Mike. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think I said
Sal,
Trevor Lawrence and
what did you
Deshaun
say,
Watson.
Sal? Deshaun Watson was what you said. Sal, what did you say?
I said Jalen Hurts.
You said
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts. So,
Mhm.
is there
Yeah.
anybody else, or am I wrong about Trevor Lawrence, or what do you guys think, Mike Jermaine? Who do you think is overrated this year?
Overrated this year?
Yeah,
Something I got to think about. I'm not sure. I have to think about that.
Mhm.
I mean, there's a few people out there, but yeah, but Trevor Lawrence is on his way as far as being overrated and stuff. So, but
Mhm.
yeah, I got one in mind, and I think it's a receiver. I'm not sure. But yeah,
Mhm.
I had to think about that. I had to think
okay.
about that. So
It
yeah.
kind of it kind of feels like right now everybody's overrated because none of them can beat Mahomes.
Yeah.
That's true.
Lamar's overrated.
Yeah, that's true.
Lamar,
Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Herbert. Everybody who's been being told is so great and everything, but until they beat number 15, it's like you ain't there yet.
right?
Hurts beat him, but that was in the regular season. But now Hurts needs to come out next year and do something, or we got a problem. So he's gotta. Yeah, he doesn't have an easy schedule. If you look at the Eagles' schedule next year, it's not as bad, I don't think, as this past year, just from looking at it. But there's still some good stuff. Jermaine's
Oh,
picks are
Eugene,
overrated. Yo,
Eugene
Eugene
came on
coming
here,
What's
in
up,
Jermaine.
T?
talking
Oh,
trash
he
on you,
did.
Jermaine.
Eugene,
What he say?
Sal, you said it.
Oh,
Go
he's
ahead.
saying Jermaine's picks are overrated. That's what Eugene said.
Eugene said
Yeah.
his picks are overrated. I love it. I love it.
Oh man,
That's
that was
funny.
great.
Yeah,
All right, well,
yeah.
we'll wrap it up, guys. Who is the most approved in the offseason? We'll do it that next show. I think there's a lot of teams that we can talk about, like who might make some noise in the offseason with some of these free agent
Yeah,
moves and everything. So,
absolutely. There are some big free agents coming up too. There are some
mhm.
significant people coming out, so it's gonna be interesting.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting, and I think it's going to be interesting if the Eagles keep Josh Sweat. I think that's going to be a big one too. Not Sweat. I'm sorry, the running back Sweat. I think it's going to be interesting to
Oh,
see.
Swift. Yeah.
Swift, thank you,
Swift.
Swift. Yeah,
DeAndre Swift.
Swift. Yeah, if they keep him because Howie he didn't sign. He doesn't like signing running backs that have some miles on him. He doesn't like it. Miles Sanders. You could go down the list. He doesn't like it. So,
Yeah, well,
Must be
Miles Sanders, he dug his own grave in that Super Bowl against Kansas City
yeah,
last
he
year.
did.
That's
Yeah.
what he,
Yeah.
So
I
yeah.
just felt that Swift wasn't used enough.
No,
I
he
agree.
wasn't
He
used
wasn't.
right.
utilized a little bit
He
more.
Not in the
wasn't.
passing
Yeah,
game.
he
Yeah.
wasn't used
Yeah.
right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
say keep
Yeah.
him. honestly.
got more creative for real. Definitely, you definitely get more creative in using him.
He wants a lot
Yeah.
of money, guys. He wants a lot. I mean, is the price going to be right? That's what it's going to come down to.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
how is his CPA? He can feel like the 1099. So,
Mhm.
let's see what he says.
Yeah, yeah. I know Hef will take Swift. Hef will take the Big Dom. You kidding?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Mike, we feel for you. We know how you feel, man.
Yeah,
It's
Mike.
worked out, and we'll get. They'll be back. It's not going to be easy, but
Yeah.
John Lynch has got to roll up his sleeves, and we'll see what happens next season.
Yeah.
Hey
we'll
guys,
see.
we made it through 4 seasons, man. This is 4 seasons. It's been a pleasure with y'all going through this,
Absolutely, man.
So, and we're about to start our 5th season coming up in 2 weeks, guys. So this is exciting, man.
It's crazy.
Oh,
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. 24 episodes this year, and man, it's been a pleasure, guys. So
Absolutely,
Yeah.
Sal.
yeah. All right,
Ray,
guys.
Mike.
Let's
Yes. Time for me to
we'll
go see
wrap
some
it up.
volleyball.
Yeah. So, guys, we'll see you next week. Thank you to everybody. Feel free to like us on social media channels. We're on all the major ones. You know the email address, enoughsaidcrew@gmail.com, of course. And then subscribe to us on YouTube to get the latest on when we're going to be online and when our shows are. Shout out to everyone, Eugene, ADU, for coming into our
Yes.
chat today. We appreciate you guys. Gentlemen, I appreciate
Spread the
you.
love.
Yeah, spread the love, man. That's right. And ADU is on tonight, so don't forget to check them out. All Dressed Up Podcast, 9 p.m. So make sure you get them and check them out tonight. All right, everybody. Good stuff. We'll catch up with
All
you.
right, y'all.
All right.
Peace out.
Cool.
Hey.